Hello everyone. How's everyone's Wednesday evening doing tonight? I hope it's just as good as mine. As you can tell by the track on your screen, we are going to Silverstone this evening. F2s are going to lead us into Great Britain. Currently right now, I guess not many of you know what the driver championship and whatnot's looking like. Jacko's leading the way, 36 points ahead of Ninas, as Jacko looks for another championship in the Midwest F1 League. Ninas is 76 points behind in second, representing the Bertuzzi, and Hotspot is fourth with his teammate Ginnet to win it. Hotspot is third with his teammate Ginnet to win it in fourth, and as well as Impossible Bacon in fifth. I guess I'll finish off the top 10. We see Cake Thomas, the Garrisvac, A. Daltonian, Nikki, and JC Blackley in the chase pack. And for Constructors Championship in Formula 2, Campos leads the way, which is the team of Hotspot and Ginnet to win it, 50 points ahead of Bertuzzi, which is teamed by Super Ninas and, if I find his team, the Garrisvac. So a couple of good teams there. Who's Art's Team B7 Racing? So yeah, that's Jacko's. Jacko in the Art is in third place with Team B7 Racing. The results for last week. Oh, Marina. Oh, yes. I was reading that wrong. The results last week saw us with Jacko winning the feature race and Cake Thomas winning the sprint. Hotspot getting a double third place and getting some solid points there for Campos with a double Campos podium in the sprint. So we'll see what Silverstone has for us here this evening. The lobby is just getting underway here. If you're new to the Midwest F1 League, be sure to give us a follow. Very much appreciate it. We are so very close to our goal, only 24 followers away. So if you can, see if you can get someone to help us out here and get ever so close to that not final goal, that stepping stone that we are working on here. So thank you very much for everyone that is tuning in. We're just waiting for the countdown here in Silverstone. I guess I can bring that up on screen. But yeah, if anyone is feeling chatty in the chat this morning, say hello. There you go. Hope you enjoy the race crash. Thanks, Shells. Appreciate that. Appreciate the turtle. That makes sense, Shells the turtle. And I get the turtle emote. Alright, Shelly, who do you want to see? Who do you want to jump on board with? Any driver feeling like viewing here? I'll pull up the track map while you have a moment to decide here. Right now we're on A. Daltonian. We've ridden on A. Daltonian quite a bit, so maybe we can switch it up. If you have anyone in mind there, Shelly, let me know. Oh, actually, Shelly's... Screw it, we'll get on board with Shelly. Oh, Shelly's invalid. Oh, what am I doing? Shelly's in the race. Rob HT is invalid. I imagine Darkness King is invalid. Knuckles is probably... Ooh, Knuckles is the last survivor. So anyone that drops below Knuckles will be seeing themselves. Starting in 14th place. Knuckles currently in 14th, like I said, alongside his teammate, Shelly the Turtle. And Shelly actually just completely DNF, so that's about it for Shelly there. Not what you want to see in qualifying, but it is what it is. Yeah, sad faces in the chat for sure. When Knuckles presses on here, we come in through Maggots and Beckett's, and just opting to take a fairly clean line. What's everyone's tire? Everyone's running the mediums here. I'm not sure what the other compound is. I was laughing my ass off when you realized I was in the race. That's why I crashed. Oh, fair enough. That's my mistake. I'll take full blame on that. Still, Knuckles holds down lonely 14th place. If it stays this way, set to start with Darkness King, unless there's any sort of DNFs. Impossible Bacon comes over 4 poles, just ahead of Super Ninas. Knuckles jumps up to 13th as something went wrong with Jin, and Ginnet starts 14th place. Knuckles gaining that extra position. The Rob HD still finishing up his invalidated lap. But we see on the front row Impossible Bacon with Super Ninas, Jose Miguel, and Hotspot, Cake Thomas and Big Pack, and bang. Okay, so that's a start. Oh, this is a fun camera angle. Never seen that one before. But anywho, we we venture forward. I think I was down. We'll restart. Impossible Bacon in the dams, getting the pole position just ahead of Super Ninas second, Jose Miguel third, and Hotspot fourth, Cake Thomas fifth, Big Pack sixth, Jacko fighting himself all the way, the slowest of the 139s. In seventh place, Will Ann's eighth, Jcast ninth, ZGS 10th, A. Daltonian 11th, Nikki 12th, Knuckles 13th, just ahead of Jinnit to win it in 14th. And the disqualification goes to Darkness King and no time set for Charlie the Turtle for laughing at me, and the Rob HD in 17th for breaking his car through the final turn, or the second last turn of turn 17. He was in between 17 and 18. Yeah, I wonder if that camera angle is going to be here to stay, because that was kind of a fun camera angle. I'm not going to lie, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was just a glitch, because it's EA. Please don't. I can say please don't be listening, but what? Yeah, right. Like they're freaking listening to this, watching this. I mean, we did have that little bit of um, we felt like there was a mole in the Midwest ranks with the Twitter handle of one of on what's his name, the the story modes on his phone for Twitter. There's an MWF1 or something like that, or mid WF1 for a Twitter handle. There might have been like a slight shout out from one of our own in the Midwest F1 League. Maybe they work for EA, maybe they don't, or Codemasters. You don't know. Quite a possibility, but as you can tell, we are underway. Jose Miguel picks up quickly. No, when possible, Bacon loses quickly, more like. All the way down to third. Big Pack and Cake Thomas wheel to wheel for fourth, fifth, and sixth. We swing around here into turn 3 and 4. Nearly 3 abreast about entering turn 4. They kind of close and bunch up here. We got Impossible Bacon trying to work back around the outside now on a Hotspot, but Hotspot gives him a little bit of a nudge, and he's actually up on the curb. Jose Miguel does not get a good run out of turn 5, and Cake Thomas is already up into 4th. We have 2 cars in it. Actually, it's Jinnit to win it, and the Rob HD in 16th and 17th must have caught each other. Well, they had to have caught each other. A little more contact between Hotspot and Jose Miguel. They want that position, and they're going to get their elbows out for it. Big Pack gives up the spot to Elma Jacko in 6th. Jacko's getting a good run on Impossible. Impossible setting a really poor opening lap here, getting pole. Super Ninas is already a second and a half up the road, and he is somewhat of an F2 specialist, so seeing him that far already up the road is very scary for the likes of Elma Jacko here, who has a couple of races. He's got about 6 races left to hold on to this win, but 6 races isn't too much. We see A. Daltonian and Shelly the Turtle off. Actually, no, sorry, it's just A. Daltonian. Shelly the Turtle is continuing on with a penalty, might I add. That being a 3-second one. Jcast losing major positions, sitting on the outside line, coming through turn 15, and yeah, he's going to take a really tight line as Jcast. Shelly the Turtle swings it around up into 12th place. Elma Jacko, quarter of second back of Impossible Bacon, as Impossible Bacon's on damage control here. May have lost 4 positions, but he's trying to get one back instantly here. Another yellow flag. They may just be Shelly the Turtle. I think it is. Down in 14th, Shelly goes, and oh my god, what happened to Jacko? Jacko just loses the car. I think that was a controller glitch. I really think that was a controller glitch. There was no point for Jacko just to launch across like that. Gets a 10-second penalty on top of that. Hotspot now working on Jose Miguel. Super Ninas 2 seconds up the road now, and he is not looking back. He's just going to keep pumping in solid times, and it's all on the other drivers to try and close the gap as well as gain the positions. Jose Miguel fighting for his dear life on Hotspot. Shelly the Turtle off once again into the barrier, into barrier, and Shelly picks herself up and ventures forward. Hotspot still so very close to Jose Miguel as we enter Maggots and Beckett's, swinging around these slalom turns here as we exit through turn 14. You want to get a good run, and Shelly is gone. That is not what you want to see. Can't be my fault this time, Shelly. With all that defensive driving that Jose Miguel's been doing, although he stayed within 2 seconds of Super Ninas, Cake Thomas and Impossible Bacon have caught the drivers ahead. Jacko still has his 10-second penalty, so that one really hurts. We'll see what happens and how that. Shake my head trying to pull stream up, and I just didn't break. Oh, goodness gracious. DRS is open. Well, now you can watch the race with me, Shelly. How about that? Not too bad. Hotspot still so very close to Jose Miguel. Super Nina is actually giving a little bit of time back. Not sure exactly how, but it looks like it is. Yes, it is the mediums and the hard tire compound. That's what I was waiting for the drivers today. I was kind of expecting that with them qualifying in mediums, but I don't exactly know. So we continue on. Cake is a second and a quarter up or behind these two ahead. Was within a second at one point, but must have fallen off somewhere. Super Niana still sitting at 1.8. Hotspot and Jose Miguel putting in some solid times. Hotspot just can't get enough pace to get past Jose Miguel. Jose Miguel may have found his groove in the second lap here, as Hotspot was draped all over him for an entire lap and a half, but Jose Miguel held him off and has now slightly increased that lead and is actually somewhat closing the gap on Ninas. So that is interesting. Adel Tony gets overtaken by Jinnit to win it, coming through Magus and Beckett's actually. So swinging out of turn 14, trying to get a good run down the hanger straight. Into the slipstream goes A. Daltonian, but I don't think this straight is long enough to warrant any sort of lunge on Jin, be though he does get fairly close. And Hotspot has brought himself back within that gap. Knuckles unfortunately spinning out and is just in front of these two here coming out. Oh, Shelly, you're gone. Impossible spinning out as well. Ouch. That is not what you want to see. A couple of foreigners to the Midwest of the United States and to the United States as a whole, both spinning out in the final couple turns, one on the final turn and then one on the third last turn. Hotspot still right behind Jose Miguel, and Jose Miguel still closing the gap to Super Ninas. What has happened is Ninas. Why is he going so slow? He was just absolutely flying right out of the gate. Now he's somewhat slowed down. Brought it to a second. He could really use a win here. Hasn't gotten one for quite a few weeks now. And now Jin Twinit looks like he's off. Yes, Jin is off at turn 6/7. Picking himself up. Zero wing is available and retires the car. Big Pack down in 9th place now, trying to get past Darkness King. Darkness can have his moments from time to time. Adel Tony getting through on Knuckles. Both drivers are trying to allow enough space for each of them to race. And speaking of, Hotspot just getting ahead of Jose Miguel, coming out of the hangar straight through turn 15 down into 16. Hotspot holds the full car length ahead and is now looking to try and close the gap on Ninas. Only a second separates them. Hotspot's going to try and close that to within DRS range and maybe look at some sort of move into turn 6 if he can find the pace. Maybe Super was just trying to save the tires and didn't want to try and open up that gap too much, and instead trying to, I mean, he doesn't need to save the tires. He can put on a, I don't know, we'll see. How fast are those hards? How slow are the hards compared to the mediums? I have no clue. So Will Lance picking up a penalty is the first time I've mentioned him all this whole evening. Still a second separates Nines and Hotspot. Into the pit comes Bacon. We'll pull up. Everyone except for the bottom four has yet to pit. JCast actually threw on another set of mediums, so he's going to have to pit once more. Ooh, Jose extending the track limits there. There we go. Still swinging through Maggots and Beckett's. Around turn 15. And now we see some drivers dive into the pit. Ninas pits, does not get a penalty. Hotspot is released. We've seen Hotspot attempt overtakes from time to time. Let's see what his splits will be. He was about 0.03 of a second off of his fastest lap there, and the fastest lap actually is a 1:41, so he was actually not too far off from the fastest lap in the race entirely, 0.3. We'll see what he is looking like as he comes through the final turn of Sector 1 here. And we go under the bridge. Come over the line of Sector 1, and he is, we'll say 300s up on his initial fastest lap. So looking good. You see Big Pack going up into 5th, overtaking Nicky and the Cheroos. Darkness King, the teammate of Nicky, just behind in 7th. We'll get back on board with Hotspot as he exits. Rob needs to retire from the F1. Oh. Didn't go too well, Agent. So here we go. We'll get on board with Hotspot, finishing up the final turn of Maggots and Beckett's in Sector 2. And his split is 0.7 up. So he's actually putting in some quality laps here on these older mediums. Okay, Jin. Easy. That's a pretty harsh statement. And now Hotspot comes into the pit. Where is Ninas? Ninas is now finishing up Maggots and Beckett's. So 26, nearly 20 seconds off of his initial fastest lap. We'll see how far off he is when he comes over the line. Darkness King and Nicky, the two teammates, still venturing on. One needs to pit before the other. I'm not sure how they're going to time this. I'd imagine, I would have hoped that one of them would have come in there, but I mean, honestly, it was really Nicky with the option, then Darkness King had to react, but he didn't. I did not see what Super Ninas was to there, but it does not matter. Hotspot is exiting the pit, and the over... Ooh, we're getting really close there. Hotspot goes up on the curb. Ninas gave him the room. Ninas forcing him to go all the way around the outside here, but Hotspot does a good job getting traction on those fresh hards, and we're going to drag it. Neither get DRS. Super slips into the slipstream of Hotspot as we enter in through turn 6, swinging it around, and then Ninas taking a slightly different angle, deeper line, and then cuts it back harder, exiting turn 7, and it doesn't look like he gets all too much better of a... Ooh, this is very close. I think he made that time up with the slipstream. Will Ans is into the pit with many of penalties. Super's right on the tail of Hotspot as we were coming in through Maggots and Beckett's. It's all about that exit of turn 13 and 14. Super gets right up on top of the curb, trying to cut the line as much as possible. Hotspot doing enough, and now Ninas into the slipstream, getting a really good run out of turn 14. And now he's going to try and overtake Hotspot, but the pressure is off Hotspot with Ninas getting the penalty. Ninas going very deep as Hotspot defended the inside line. And Ninas still back in 6th place, Hotspot in what is provisional race lead. We'll see as ZGS is actually still yet to pit as well, but he seems like he's not far enough ahead. Need an invite? Yes, there, Jin. Can't invite players because this game group has closed. I'm not sure what to do there, Jin. You'll need to get the host to send you one. So the overcut on the mediums from Hotspot is really kind of made up a full second here as they came out wheel to wheel. Hotspot was able to get the job done in the end. Now Ninas is on the chase, and Ninas needs to be careful here. He doesn't want to over push and then throw himself into absolutely no points. These two drivers are very close in the championship. To be exact, they're separated by only 17 points. So Ninas just is focused on making points up on Jacko. I mean, of course, he needs a lot of points made up on Jacko, but he needs to focus on just beating him to start. And he's going to try and make another move on Hotspot. Hotspot once again opts for that inside line. Kind of need a little bit of a Sebastian Vettel double move on Bottas if you're really to try and get that inside line from Hotspot. But I think Hotspot understands that defending that inside line is the way to go through turn 15 and forces Ninas to go all the way around the outside. And unfortunately, I don't think the F2 cars have the grip or the hards in general, even though they are on the same tire. But, you know, you could probably shred the softs harder on the outside than you can the hards, or at least you can send it a little bit harder. I mean, of course, you can defend a little bit harder as well, but still find it to be a tougher move, hard to hard compared to soft. Bold statement of the night from Crash. I'm usually have one or two of those. Coming through Copse, heading towards Meggetts and Beckett's of turn 10 where it starts. Hotspot really taking some clean lines here. Jacko actually picking up a penalty. Very uncharacteristic. He did get that massive 10-second one, but I'm not sure. He might try and fight that one back. Possible Bacon in 12th. I think that's the Rob HD spun off. Yeah. JCast overtakes for 13th. I'm sorry there, Jin. So still yet to pit is ZGS. Now, on the feature, you could definitely run the whole race without having to pit. Yes, Jin, I agree. It has its moments of being absolute utter trash. Who's the lobby leader, Jin? Just get him to invite you after. Oh. Well, there you go. Well, let's do that. And you gotta give me a second. Okay. We're getting back in. Just waiting for another invite here. Thanks for sticking it out. Sorry for, yeah. Sorry. Okay, well, we're, waiting for another invite. It seems like the lobby's been reset. Looks like we're getting a new host. How did my time trials do in comparison? Oh yeah, 21. Now, I don't use any of those assists, might I add. So, that was just me hopping on and ripping. Everyone's using the Red Bull. I mean, you have to if they're gonna put it in for a short period of time. That's gotta be a glitch. He's 10 seconds faster than everyone else in the world. I mean, well, anywho, if anyone's in chat, like, spice things up. Like, what's going on? How was your day at work? What happened? What's new? What do I not know that I need to know? Three laps feature finish in the same order. What is going on here? I'm as long for the ride as much as you lovely folks are. Oh, jeez. Nice time trial times. Ah, thank you, yes. Yeah, that was my first time ever driving that track, actually. It's kind of nice. Although I don't actually have any of my account, that being Crash from Queens, set up and whatnot on this Midwest account. So it wasn't the way that I would usually. I'm assuming I could maybe get a little bit faster if I had my everything set up for me. Oh my god, I don't know why this is not working. I don't know whoever's host I can't connect to. It is what it is. What can you do? Alright. They're really trying to get this thing in. Let's move that there. That looks better over there. Alright. Is the camera working? Oh, it is working now. I don't want to be the center. Has anyone seen any good movies lately? Anything? Anyone have any? I mean, I feel like everyone's seen Squid Game, but like, I mean, what's there to talk about? NHL started today. Shall we go through our NHL scores? It seems that the Toronto Maple Leafs de Toronto, if you're French, have taken down the Montreal Canadiens 2-1. In Montreal, I believe it was actually as well. Or no, it was in Toronto. Or was it? I can't remember. I cannot remember. So I remember watching the game. I'm pretty sure it was in Toronto. And then the Capitals de Washington won over the New York Rangers by a score, a whopping margin of 5-1, was it? 5-1, which is what it was finished at. The mid game, right now. Oh, actually, there's a couple games starting pretty quick here. Winnipeg Jets and the Anaheim Ducks are about to get underway. Same with the Chicago Blackhawks and the Colorado Avalanche and the Vancouver Canucks versus the Edmonton Oilers are all starting right now. Okay, this is taking forever. Ooh, ADL20 has a putty tat. Here we go. Let's check out the Midwest F1 League. Fantasy Hockey League. So, bring up the league overview. Okay, so Honky Tonk Pionk a Tonk is going against the Vermont Mountaineers. Currently, Honky Tonk Pionk a Tonk is leading 20.9 to 16.8, but Vermont Mountaineers is projected higher. Then the Hartford Whalers are taking on Alliston Cow Tippers. Hartford leads 63.8 to 43.8 and has the higher projection as well. Then we have NFS Light Work against Matt Rosie's Dusters. Matt Rosie leads 26.3 over 5.7, but NFS does have a higher projection. And then we have Guido's Garage versus Marky Mark Sports, with Guido's Garage leading the way with 37.9 points and having the higher projection as well. So 7-lap race is looking like what it will be. Do 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 do. Honky Tonk Pionk a Tonk. What a name. What a name. Sorry about the weight crash. Game doesn't want to cooperate. Whatever, Bacon. I mean, a gifted sub might make me feel better, but no, that's okay. It is what it is. I'm actually just gonna put on some Aki and watch some Aki. Jesus, that's loud. Okay. Let's go, Oilers. Get the honky donk. 5 laps then. Anyone else joining? I actually got $10 on this game. Who doesn't want to see Crash win money? Everyone here wants to see Crash win money. And it's actually with a guy from work. So I definitely need to win this. I was cocky and everything. I put the $10 in my locker and I said if the Oilers lose tonight, oh my god, Oilers lose tonight, or come on in and grab that $10 right out of my locker. I'll let you go in my locker, grab that $10. They better not win, or they better not lose. Canucks can't win. The only dub here is Cody's line. Yeah, so it seems like we've settled on the feature race results, and we're gonna 5-lap it out because a 10% race, you are mandated to pit, which was gonna be 7 laps. So pit stop for 7 laps kind of blows. Or a 25% race, or whatever it was. Need to pit. No one wants to do that. Oh, bury it. But, okay, oh, I guess you can't see what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is that we're back in the lobby. You also can't see was because I was uber distracted. But yes, we are back in the lobby. We're going to give you this final 5 laps, which will count as the sprint race, what I'm being told. Oh my shit. Through all of that chaos, we actually gained a follower. I'm assuming that it's an I, and meet you. Thank you very much for the follow through all this, whatever it was. But yes, as you heard, 5 laps, and we are going to get our sprint race result. 13 drivers have made it back for such race. Nikki leading the way, with El Majaco sending around the outside. Jose Miguel peeks down the inside line. We got a little bit of chaos there. Yellow flag in sector 1. Impossible Bacon's all the way in the back of the pack. ZGS. Was he always in this race? I have no idea. But Super Ninas in 6th, getting pinched by a couple drivers, having to take an awkward route through that. Right on the slipstream of Hotspot, bump drafting him into the corner. Wanting to go around the outside, ends up going around the outside. The Hotspot takes a far sharper racing line through that turn and still holds on to 3rd place. Jacko half a second up on Nicky. And we haven't done a 5-lapper in the Midwest for quite a while, so they actually get fairly exciting. And bang, another follow. Tiger NASCAR hits this one with as well. Actually, a driver down in Division 2, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you very much there, Tiger NASCAR. Knuckles losing a couple of positions as well. Nikki dropping back into 4th. Cake back into 13th with Knuckles making up a spot. We are about to get finished. Our first, no, sorry, we're actually not even close. We are entering Sector 3 of our 5-lapper here. Still plenty of laps and turns and sectors to go. Nikki going way off. Jose Miguel getting a major snap of oversteer. A. Daltonian is right behind him, and Jose Miguel tries to launch back down the inside line on Big Pack, but Big Pack holds the line tight. Still in 5th place is Big Pack. Looking at the position moves from race start, it's Hotspot gaining 6 right out of the gate. Jacko gaining 2 and Super Ninas gaining 3. Everyone else in the top 7 has either lost a position or held his spot. Jinit to win it up 5 as well. He's actually in the other Virtusi, interesting enough. He's actually a Campos driver, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But we are at 100 and I think that'll be 131 followers now. I think it's not updating, but whatever. Cool. Jin glitches and goes right off track. Oh, that is really weird to see. Big Pack still in 5th, right behind Nikki. Hotspot trying to hunt down Jacko here. Now the name of the game for Jacko is simple. Finish, and you don't lose too much. We have no idea how the feature race ended up, to be quite honest. Actually, you know what? Someone sent us a picture here. So the winner of the feature race was actually Hotspot, with Cake Thomas finishing 2nd and Super Ninas 3rd. Big Pack and Jose Miguel were 4th and 5th, with Elmo Jacko 6th, A. Daltonian 7th, and Nikki 8th. So that's why we saw Nikki so far up the grid from race start. And he's back down in 5th here, so not losing too many spots. ZGS getting into a major battle as 3 cars are all fighting it in to turn 16 and 17, with both 2 of them being dams. So they don't want to get too elbows out with each other, as they want to get their team some solid points there. ZGS very close to JCast. Almost a little bit of bump there, but keeps it far enough away, I guess. Now it says Jin. I have no idea what is going on with that. I'm sure he's not too happy, but we'll see what order it gives him in the end. Oh, and Hotspot launches down the inside line, and Jacko comes right back alongside of him. Now a little bit of contact there between the 2 drivers. Hotspot's able to collect his car and only lose about a couple of tenths. Nothing too crazy, but Hotspot saw that line and then tried to jump at it, and Jacko quickly closed it. Swinging through turn 14, we set down the hanger straight. DRS is open this lap. We are on lap 3 of 5 total. Jacko leads the way and got that lead fairly early and hasn't been able to increase it all too much. Big Pack actually has caught up to these drivers here. Only 8 tenths back. Ninas is very close to the back of Hotspot. JCast looks like he loses it. I don't know, Jin. I thought AE was host. Sometimes just Wi-Fi's don't get good connection between each other. But yes, I agree, Jacko does not have the best of connections. I'm not sure. I thought AE was the host there, Jin. You should focus on the race, man. You're over nearly 2 minutes back. Just kidding. ZGS, the Dams driver, loses it. Hotspot still in 2nd. Swinging around, finishing Sector 1 onto Sector 2. Everyone was bouncing everywhere. Yeah, I'm not sure there, Jin, man. JCast and ZGS battling it out. Ooh, wheel-to-wheel racing here. What do we get? JCast leading it, coming in to the inside line of Copse. Are we going to get Hamilton Verstappen? No. Oh my goodness gracious, the inside car gave room. Or he didn't give room, he backed out when he was not ahead. Crazy. A. Daltonian getting the overtake on Nicky for 5th. I don't think we're going to see the end of that battle. Nor will we see the end of Hotspot and Jacko. Hotspot so very close to Jacko. We're on lap 5 here. Jacko still leads us. Hotspot right on the tail. Trying to get a good run here. And there we go. Hotspot is going to go around the outside line. Ooh, he's really going to stick this. Jacko's going to try and close the door, but Hotspot barges his way through the inside line. And now both drivers are dragging out of turn 8, that is. But Jacko sends it around the outside and is able to hold on. Big Pack is still very close to Ninas. Actually, sorry, Ninas is very close to Hotspot. Hotspot backs out a little bit here. We enter Maggots and Beckett's. Hotspot has 2nd place. Pretty much, actually no, Big Pack not too far back, but Super Ninas is in between those two drivers. Now Hotspot needed a really good run out of turn 14, and that was not it. Closes the gap ever so slightly, but not quite enough. Big Pack in 4th, and will jump up to 3rd with the penalty to Ninas in the end. Hotspot trying to close the gap onto Jacko, but running out of turns doesn't look like he'll be able to get it done. Impossible with a penalty in the end, and Jacko comes over the line for the feature race win, with Hotspot coming 2nd, Big Pack 3rd, Super Ninas 4th, A. Daltonian and Nicky 5th and 6th, Jose Miguel 7th, Impossible Bacon 8th, JCast will probably stick in the 9th, too far away to make those penalties mean much. Knuckles in 10th, ZGS picking himself up for 11th place. Cake Thomas and the bot of Janet to win it is just gonna lag out the lobby. Actually, no, I was just gonna end it. Okay, cool. Easy, easy. So not the picture-perfect night that we are anticipating here in the Midwest F1 League. Still rounded out about to be an hour, which is about our average time for the F2 cars. But yes, thank you for those that did follow us here. The way that this race went, I don't think that people are going to be wanting that game right now. But, you know, we'll see. It is what it is. It happens from time to time. Lobbies just don't go the way they do want it to, and this was one of those days. So congratulations to those that did win their races in Hotspot and Alma Jacko. The points will be given out, and it's one of those you just got to grind it through kind of nights. So the final finishing order of the sprint race, it says feature, but this will be considered as a sprint with the 5-lapper, is Alma Jacko, Hotspot, and Big Pack 1, 2, 3, with Big Pack taking the fastest lap. Super Ninas 4, A. Daltonian 5th, Nicky 6th, Jose Miguel 7th, Possible 8th, JCast 9th, Knuckles 10th, ZGS 11th, Cake 1 lap behind 12th, and Jin in 13th. And then I'll give you what feature race order I got. So that's Hotspot, Cake, Super Ninas with the 1, 2, 3, Big Pack, Jose Miguel, Alma Jacko, A. Nicky, Darkest King, Impossible Bacon, Knuckles, ZGS, JCast, the Rob HD, and Will Ans, and the DNFs to Jin it to win it, and Shelly the Turtle. So take it for what it is. Sorry for the lack of viewing entertainment, and thanks for sticking this one out. Hope you have a good rest of your Wednesday. Please come back tomorrow. We'll be back again, myself and Alma Jacko in the booth in Division 3. So if you're Division 3, let your fam jam or friend jams know of that you will be on the big screen on the Twitch channel. So hopefully we'll be seeing you tomorrow night, as well as some new faces. Thank you once again for tuning in. I've been Crash McQueen. We have been the Midwest F1 League. Good night.